Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to see about the program of keyboard interfacing with 8051 microcontroller. So before going to that we will just recall the steps involved. Okay, so how the microcontroller will identify a key press. So here initially we have to check the initial stage of our keyboard. Okay, that means there is no key has been, we have to verify that there is no key pressed. Okay, so after ensuring that there is no key has been pressed, now we will go to the step 2. So here step 2 is nothing but identifying a key press. To identify a key press, what we will do, the microcontroller will continuously read the values of columns. Okay, so the initial value of columns will be all ones. So whenever there is a change in the value of column, then the microcontroller will so it will know that so there is a key press. Okay, so it just identifies a key press, but it doesn't confirm a key press. Okay, so it will wait for 20 milliseconds. So after 20 milliseconds also, after 20 milliseconds again it will read the value of columns. So after 20 milliseconds also, if there is a change in the value of columns, then it will confirm a particular key has been pressed. Okay, so when a key has been pressed, so now then in the next step what it will do, it will find the row. Okay, so it will find the particular key which row it has been assigned to. Okay, so it will find the value of a row. Okay, so after finding the row value, now we have to fetch and place the value of the particular character as key value. Okay, so to find the value of character, so that is value that is nothing but ASCII value. Okay, so we will follow a process and we will clearly see it in our program. Okay, now going to the program, so the first line of the program start with MOV P2 comma, this is hash 0FFH. Okay, so we are immediately moving FF value to P2, that is our port 2. So FF means 1111111. So this is the value of FF. So we are moving 1111 value to P2. That means we are initializing the port 2 as an input port. So here we are having 4 ports, P0, P1, P2 and P3. So these are all our input output ports. So that means we can use these particular ports as inputs as well as outputs. So now if we want to, so for example here we are taking port P2. So if you want to make this particular port as input port, we have to give all ones to that particular port. So then it behaves as input port. So if we are giving all zeros, means it will be act as output port. Okay, so here initially we are making port 2 as an input port. So make it as input port, we are moving all ones to port 2. Okay, so now the port 2 behaves like an input port. So why here we are using 0, you already know that. So whenever we are moving the values, or so whenever the hexadecimal value exceeds 9, so when we are alphabets, so then we have to place 0 before the value which we are moving to the destination. Okay, so that's why here we are using 0. Okay, so next, the next value, so the next line is MOV, we are moving 0 to P1. So here we are making all rows zeros. Okay, so here we already know that port 1 is connected to rows, so that's why we are making all rows, the value of rows to zeros. Okay, so now after that, so from here our program is going to be started. So in our initial step, what we have to do, we have to check all keys are open or not. So to check whether all keys are open means, that means in the values of columns if the values of columns is all ones, then we can say that no key has been pressed. Okay, so we are going to check this particular condition. So that's why we are reading the port 2. Okay, so now whatever the content available in port 2 will be moved to accumulator. So here we are reading the value of port 2 here. Okay, so now for example, from here we will see the port 2 value is 10111111. Okay, so this is the value of port 2. So we have read it and we have moved it to the accumulator. Okay, now accumulator value will be 10111111. So here we are using 4x4 matrix. So in 4x4 matrix keyboard we only have 4 rows or 4 columns. Okay, so in this particular value of our port we just need only the MSB bits, 4 MSB bits, because we have connected it from D0 to D3, that is the LSB bits, LSB bits. So the LSB bits of P2 we just only need the values of LSB bits of P2. We don't bother about the MSB bits. Okay, so now the accumulator value is 1011 all ones. So here then in the next step we are ending A and L, A comma hash 00001111. See here we already said that we don't need the MSB bits, we only bother about our LSB bits. So that's why we are ending with 00. So lower bits, MSB bits zeros and LSB bits with ones. Okay, so why we are doing this? So if we clearly observe the AND logic, okay, so 0 and 1 gives us 0, 1 and 1 gives us 1. So here if we clearly observe whatever the value it may be, so if we are ending with 1 means we are getting the same values. Okay, so 1 with 0 gives 0, 1 with 1, so 1 and 1 gives 1. So when we are applying AND logic with 1 we will get the same values. Okay, so similarly if we go with zeros, so here 0 with 0 gives us 0, 0 with 1 also 0. Okay, 0 and 0, 0, 0 and 1, 0. Okay, so whenever we are performing with zeros, okay, 0 with anything gives us zeros. So that's why we only need the LSB bits. So that's why we are ending with all ones. So ending with all ones gives the same value. So if we are having 1011 means if we apply AND logic with 1011 and 1111, so 1 with 1 1, 1 with 1 1, 0 and 1. So if we are ending with all ones means we are getting this value only, right? So that's why as we bother about the LSB bits we are using this logic 111. So and the MSB bits with 0. So this process is called as masking. So we are masking the MSB bits and we are MSB bits here. So finally what will happen after applying AND logic with 00001111? So this is the value of our P2. So this is the value of our accumulator, right? So we are performing with accumulator. So the MSB bits will be zeros and LSB bits will be 1. So keep in mind that this value we have done here. Okay, so now the accumulator value is this one. So clearly you have to observe this, these two lines will be repeatedly, we will use these two lines in our program. So just we have to if you can understand it here itself, it will be easier for the further program. Okay, so and coming after, so here we have successfully masked the MSB bits and we have kept only the LSB bits. Okay, so after that we have to check, we are checking here. Okay, So we have, till now we just only here we have read the port 2 values and we have masked the MSB bits. So we have moved the port 2 values to accumulator, and next what we have done, we have masked the MSB bits and we have kept our LSB bits. Okay, so till here we just only masked the bits. We have read the value of P2 and just we have masked the MS bits. Now here we are checking the condition here. So the condition means here again CJ, we are using CJ and E. CJ and E means compare and jump if not equal. So here what we are comparing, the value of A with 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1. Okay, so value of A we are comparing with 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1. So why we are taking this? So similarly the same thing, we doesn't need, we are not bothering about the MSB bits, that's why we have already made them zeros. So all zeros, we know that the MSB bits will be zeros. So here we are comparing with 4 ones. Okay, so that means the column value which we want is, so which we are expecting is, so all ones. So if the column values are all ones means no key has been pressed. If there is any change means there is a key press. So that's why the condition, no key pressed condition is all ones. So we are comparing it with the value which is present earlier. Okay, so the value which is present earlier is also 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1. So we will compare this value with this one. Okay, so if these two values are equal means no key has been pressed. Okay, if these two values are not equal means, for example here when we are reading the P2 value, if the P2 value is 1101, so now we are moving the same value to accumulator, so the accumulator will having 1101. So after masking also here we will have 1101. So when we are comparing this is the accumulator value. So if we are comparing this with this value, so 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 means this 111 condition is no key pressed condition, no key pressed. So here we are comparing these two, 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 with 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1. So no key pressed condition with this one. So here these two are not equal. So if these two are not equal, then we will jump to the initial stage again. So we will wait until there is no key press. Okay, whenever there is no key press only we will go to the next process. So after confirming that there is no, all keys are open, so now here this condition will be false. Okay, so these two values will be equal, accumulator value and 0011 which we are comparing. So when this particular condition has been failed, then our program comes to the next line. Okay, next line, it will execute the next line. So after some delay again it will read the value of our columns. Okay, port 2. So again it will read the value of our port 2. So here for example, so the next step is nothing but we will check whether there is a key press or not. So until here we have checked that all keys are open or not. Okay, so after completing the initial stage we are coming to the next stage, that means if there is any key press or not. So that's why again we will read the value of port 2. Okay, so again some value 1110. Here if we are having this value, so this will be moved to accumulator. So 1110 1111. So again here ANL with this value, so that means we are masking the MSB bits. So after this particular line accumulator will be 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1. Okay, so after masking the values of accumulator, now we are going to compare the value of accumulator with 0 0 0 1 1 1 B. Okay, so we are comparing it with 0 0 0 0 1 1 1. So if you clearly observe that the two values are equal. Okay, so that means if these two values are equal means here we are comparing it. So this condition is no key press condition, so we are comparing it with accumulator. So here these two are equal, that means no key has been pressed. So now as there is no key has been pressed, this condition will be failed. Okay, it goes to the next step. So next step is nothing but sjump to k2. So we are calling the program again. So that means if there is no key pressed, so it will check until there is a key pressed. Okay, so this loop will be infinitely done until there is a key press. So after some amount of time, again if we are reading the p2 value, so now we have pressed a key as we have seen the previous examples. So we will take this example for 6. Okay, so this one, so we have pressed the key 6. So when we are pressing key 6, what will be the value of columns? 1 1 0 1. So we will neglect the values, sorry, it will be confused. The last 4 bits. Okay, 1 1 0 1. Okay, so we don't bother about the MSB bits, so we only care about our LSB bits because these 4 bits are connected to our columns. Okay, so when we are pressing 6, the column value will be 1 1 0 1. So the LSB values will be 1 1 0 1 here. So now we are moving these values to accumulator. Now the accumulator value will be 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 0 1. Okay, same as p2. So after this we will mask the accumulator. So masking means MSB bits will be zeros and the LSB bits will remain same. So now we will verify this with no key press condition, that is 0 0 0 0 1 1 1. So as these two values are not equal, because 1 1 1, so there is a difference for this bit. Okay, so as these two are not equal, our program will jump to some location called a subroutine called over. Okay, so that means here a key has been pressed. So now what we have to do, we have to wait a particular amount of time and again we have to confirm the key press. Okay, so for that we are going to the next location called over. So here we are calling it delay. So we are calling it our program came here. Okay, as it identified a key press. So here what initially it does, it waits for a particular delay time. Okay, so here delay is nothing but 20 milliseconds. After waiting for 20 milliseconds, again it will read the value of port 2. So as we are confirming the key press, now the port 2 value will be the same, 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 1. Okay, so reading the port 2 value to accumulator means this value will be moved to accumulator. So now after moving the value to accumulator, we are masking the MSB bits here, ANL A comma 0 0 0 with 1 1 1. So the accumulator value will be 4 zeros 1 1 0 1. Okay, so after successfully masking that, so now what we are doing, again we are comparing it with no key press, comparing with this condition. Okay, 1 1 1 B. So again if we clearly see here, these two values are not equal. So in step 2 what we will do, initially we will read the port value and we will compare it. So after comparing the column values, if there is any change in column, so it will know that or it will identify there is a key press. So after identifying, again it will wait for 20 milliseconds and again it will check the column value. So here the program waited for 20 milliseconds here, and again it will read the column. So that means here it is reading port 2 value, and here we are masking it. So after masking, so again we are comparing the value of port 2 with this condition. It is no key press condition. So again these two values are not equal. That means confirmed. A key press has been confirmed. Okay, so now the key press has been confirmed. So now what we have to do, this particular key, we have to find out this key press belongs to which row. So that's why our program is shifting from here to here as this condition, compare and jump if not equal. So as these two values are not equal, so now our program will jump to here. Okay, so now we are jumping to the next step of our program. Now we have to find the value of a row. So the particular key belongs to which row. Okay, so here we have taken example of alphabet 6. So the row will be 1101. So that means D0 to D3 here. Okay, now we have to find the value of rows. So here we are taking the example key pressed is 9. So the column values will be 1101. So D0, D1, D2, D3. Okay, so here if we are pressing 9, the column values will be 1 0 1 0 1 1 1. See here 1 0 1 1. So the row will be 1 1 0 1. So 1 1 0 1. D0 to D3 1 1 0 1. So here 0 1. This is key. So here we are assuming the key is 9. So now we have to find the row. Okay, so here we have to find the row here. That means this is R0, R1, R2 and R3. So this particular thing belongs to row 2. So again the same process. See here what we have in the step 3, what we have done to find the row values. What we used to do, we used to make a single row 0 and the remaining rows 1s. So initially we will make row 0 0 and the remaining rows will be 1s. So that's why we are moving P1 with, so port 1 we are moving 1 1 1 1 1 0. That means we are making R0 0. Okay, so this is the process we have done earlier. So after that we will make R1 0, and now we will read the value of P2. So if there is a change in columns, that means that particular key belongs to R0. If there is no key change here, there is no change in the columns, that means that doesn't belongs to the row. So if there is no key change, so that doesn't belongs to the row 0. So similarly, now what we will do in again step 1101. So we are making R1 0, and again we will read the port 2. So again we will check the port 2 values. If there is a change in columns, then there will be, so R1 will be confirmed. So in our example R2 is our row, so in this case also we will fail. So again now what it will do, 1 0 1 1, it will make R2 0, and again we will read the values of columns. So here we will get the column value 1 1 0 1. So please note that here we are only mentioning the LSB bits. So we are having 4 MSB bits as well, so we don't care about them. So whenever we are getting the R2 value, now the microcontroller will confirm that the particular key press, the 9 belongs to row 2. Okay, so that is what the process here we are doing. So we are making the row R0 0 and remaining values ones. Okay, so P1 we are connecting to rows. So after that we are reading the values of P2, that means port 2, we are moving the values to accumulator, and the same process we are masking them and we are verifying it. So as we seen earlier, this particular key doesn't belongs to row 0, so that's why there will be no change in columns. Okay, so P2 will be some value 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, so like this. So this will be moved to accumulator. So after moving to accumulator, we will mask these 4 bits, so it will be 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1. So here we will check with 0 0 0 0, here this one we are comparing with 0 0 0 0 and 1 1 1. So as two values are equal, that means this condition will be failed, and that means that is not belong to the row 0. Again next it will check the next value, that here we are making R1 0 and remaining bits 1, so same will be continued. So after that again here we are making R2 0 and we are comparing here. So here in this particular scenario we will get P2 value as some 1 1 1 1 and 1 1 0 1. So here the condition will be successful and we will move to the subroutine which belongs to row 2. Okay, so we are moving to the subroutine here, row 2, from here to here. Okay, so here the subroutine of row 2. So all the row subroutines will look same here. Okay, so this particular subroutine will make us to move to our lookup table. So we are talking about the lookup table here. So lookup table is nothing but which contains the ASCII values of our keys. Okay, so for here we have pressed 9. Okay, so now whenever we are jumping from here to here, so here to here we are moving the value of the particular code. Okay, so this address is moved to our data pointer, and so after moving this particular address, so here that means code 2 k code 2. Okay, so this value will be moved to the data pointer. So more clearly we will see here. So this is our lookup table. Okay, so each and every row has assigned with a particular each and every row has 4 digits. Okay, so for example row 0, so we are starting to load the ASCII values of each and every character here. So row 0 we are starting from the value 9000. So 0, the ASCII value of 0 will be loaded in address 9000 and 1 will be 9001. So similarly like this. So row 0 ranges from 9000 to 9003. So now the row 1 value will start from 9004 and end at 9007. So just don't confuse the sequence of numbers here. So why the lookup table is like this, we will clearly see. Okay, so the lookup table is different from our keyboard sequence. Okay, so don't bother about that, we will clearly see it how we are identifying them. So one thing we must keep in mind is the values of rows here. So row is assigned to 9001 and each and every ASCII value of the character will be stored in its respective address lines. Okay, so that means here we are moving data pointer DPTR to here. This code KDX0 is nothing but here the row 2 9008, that we are moving 9008 value to data pointer. Okay, so now after moving this, now we have to find the value of that particular key pressed. Okay, so we just loaded the value 9008 into data pointer. Now after that our key will be laid in this particular row 2. Okay, so now we will check that after getting the value of row 2, now how the microcontroller will fetch the ASCII value of our pressed key. Okay, so for that again, so after moving the value to the data pointer, now it will jump to the next subroutine called find. Okay, so now we have to find that particular value. So here we are going to here, so I have missed one thing here. Here is jump find. Jump find. So from here to here, so here row 2, after moving the value we are coming from here to here, fine. So to this subroutine we are coming. So what is the value of accumulator? So the value of accumulator will be this one, right? Here, this one. Value of accumulator will be 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 1. After masking this, okay, the value of accumulator will be 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 1. So now coming to here, we will find the we have to find the particular value from our lookup table. So this is our lookup table, right? So we have to find it. So now we are rotating accumulator through carry. So we are moving this value right through carry. So in first step we are moving this to carry. So now after execution of this particular instruction, this one will be moved to carry. Okay, so in step 1 this one will be moved to carry. So what will be our so this will be moved to our carry. So 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 0. So this will be our accumulator value, and this one is given to our carry. Okay, so now we are checking the condition, jump if no carry, match. So why we are doing this means we have to find the value of our ASCII value of our digit which we have pressed. So that's why we are doing the process, jump if no carry. So jump if no carry means we should if there is no carry value, it will go to the next value. Okay, sorry, this if there is no carry means 0. So this is our key pressed. Okay, so we whenever we are getting 0 means that particular value is our ASCII. Okay, 1101, that means our key belongs to column 1. So in ASCII table, sorry, in lookup table, to fetch the column, so we know the row, right? So now again we are checking the column here. So this is reverse process. So that's why whenever we are finding 0 means that key has been pressed. 1 means that particular column is not belongs, that particular column is not belong to that key. Okay, so that's why whenever we are getting 0 means the key is belongs to that column. Okay, so that's why we are moving the accumulator value. So initially the accumulator value is this one, 1101. So rotate accumulator right with carry. So what will happen, this one will be go to carry. So after execution 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 0, this will be the accumulator value. So carry, we are getting a carry. If there is no carry, we have to proceed. So if there is carry, this particular condition will be failed, no carry, right? So here we are getting a carry, so that's why we are moving it. So we are, after that we are incrementing the data pointer dptr. So previously from our lookup table we have already checked the value of our row 3, row 2. So row 2 is 9008. So 9008. So initially the data pointer will be 9008. Okay. So as we are not getting a match, we are incrementing it. So now the data pointer will be 9009. Okay. So now again sjump find, it will go to here. So this process will be continued until we find the appropriate column. Now again we are moving the accumulator to right, so through carry. So the 0 will be moved to carry 40011. This will be the value of our accumulator. So whenever we are getting 0, so that means jump if no carry. So 0 means no carry. Now we will go to match. Okay. So here we are clearing the accumulator. So the accumulator value will be all zeros. And move C a comma at the accumulator plus data pointer. So what is the value of our data pointer? 9009. So 9009. So this particular 9009 value will be moved to accumulator. Okay. So here MOV C we are moving the value to accumulator here. The value of accumulator, as we are clearing it, it will be 0. So 0 plus data pointer, so plus 0000, that gives us 9009 only, right? So whatever the data available in 9009 will be moved to accumulator. So the data available in 9009 is nothing but ASCII value of 9. So that value will be moved to accumulator and it will be displayed. So MOV A comma P0 means it will be displayed in our monitor. Okay. So after displaying it, again it will go to K1. K1 is nothing but our initial stage of our program. Okay. So again it goes here and this process continues. Okay. So this is the keyboard interfacing program. So this is our lookup table. So from row, whenever we are finding any row, so for example if we are taking row 3, that means that particular here itself we are moving the value. So here code 3 will be replaced with 9006. So this 9003 will be moved to data pointer. So that's what here we have done. So as we are taking row 2, 9008 is moved to data pointer and we are checking the column. Okay. So the column checking, how we have done the check, we have rotated the column through carry and we found the particular match. So this is our lookup table. So take an example and follow the steps. You will get it easily. And so you have these two lines. Please look into these two lines. So these two lines will always we will use these two lines more number of times in our program. So the program might look a bit lengthy, but more number of lines will be continuously repeated. Okay. So if you can get the logic, it will be a very easy program. Okay. Thank you.